Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, we all have a lot of homework.
Yeah. Mhm.
Here's a Dung Pham.
Good morning, Khenpo.
Good morning, good
How are you?
evening, good night, or whatever, good evening.
Good night.
Margaret.
Dung Pham, yes.
How are you, Khenchen?
Oh, I'm good, doing good, yes. Yeah. What do people express? Dharma is
Sorry.
good. Shock about what?
Yes.
No, it's that we are awful. We don't realize how awful we are.
Yeah, we are.
We are just hiding under the ground, not looking at it. And the teaching says that's not right. You see, that's why you are suffering. Yes, we just complain, say, oh, this. We don't realize how much underneath the garbage, rotten,
Oh,
But sometimes we don't like it. Even we don't have it. Even though we have it, but we don't like it, but we hide it. Here's Lama 777. Kunchok Chiki. Yes, Cindy Chang. Martin. Cindy Chang from San Francisco.
Good morning.
In the Dharma. Yes. Oh, yeah. Cindy, good morning.
Good morning, Khenchen. How are you?
I'm good.
知道班因為大三班到8點半啦，所以之前
6 o'clock in San Francisco.
Actually, I'm in Oakland.
No, in Auckland, yeah, same time. Auckland,
Yeah.
Auckland, those are good area.
Greetings from Elna.
Excuse me?
Elna Sao always wants to say hello to you.
Okay, how she's doing?
She's doing well. When I see her, we go for a walk.
Oh, that's good. Say hello to her.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah, and Sharon as well.
And Sharon, yes.
Yes. So here's our special guy from Latvia, Martin. He's working.
Not special.
Mr. Martin is working hard for his enlightenment.
No. You're a joke. You just joke about me.
Yes.
I'm lazy.
Yes, you are working very hard.
This is my work now.
Yes, that's good. gentle tongue, moving tongue, ngok tan, ngok mai, ngok tan, ngok mai, Robin, Lima. It's Wolfgang.
Rinpoche, no.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
hello.
I have a new book. It's from you, Great Katsu Masters. You remember this book?
Kaju Master.
Yeah, I bought it yesterday. I'm reading it now.
Oh, wunderbar.
Yeah. Wunderbar. Yeah, it's in German.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm?
Wow. Servitude. 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 Okay. Well, here's Thomas Apple. Ciao. Okay. Kunchok Luma.
Is that loud enough for you, Rinpoche? Is that volume loud enough for you?
Loud enough?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Can you hear good? I can turn it up.
No, just make full the voice,
Okay.
so I don't have to shout.
Yes. Okay, so. Settings. Settings. Yeah, that's on settings. The speaker.
And then, okay. Anna, you want to open the opening prayer?
Lasso. In the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, I take refuge until I attain enlightenment. Through the merit of practicing generosity and the rest, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, I take refuge until I attain enlightenment. Through the merit of practicing generosity and the rest, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, I take refuge until I attain enlightenment. Through the merit of practicing generosity and the rest, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the sacred happiness devoid of suffering. And may they dwell in boundless equanimity that is free from attachment and aversion. The ground is purified with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Sumera, the king of mountains, the four quarters of the universe, and the sun and the moon. Thinking of it as the blessed Buddha feels, I offer it. By virtue of this offering, may all beings here and now attain the happiness of that pure land. Tram Guru Ratna Mandala Putsa Mega Samudra Saparana Samaya Aham. In accordance with the capabilities and diverse aspirations of sentient beings, we ask you to please turn the wheel of Dharma of the greater, lesser, or conventional vehicles.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Jenny from Malaysia here. Now, please, as we said the opening prayers, our interest is to free from all the suffering, as universal. Our interest is to have all the peace and happiness within in samsara, as well for enlightenment, So because of that, we are making this effort, not as a mission, religious training, or something culture interesting, or say I like this or I don't like this. This is something, we just think of that as a casual. But here we are depending on the Buddha's wisdom, which made a very clear demarcation. Now, what are the cause of suffering? And what are the cause for peace and happiness, even within in the samsara, and as well for the enlightenment, Buddhahood. So we're studying this and practicing this. So it is something very precious if we understand it. If we have decisive wisdom or awareness to see that. As I mentioned repeatedly, everybody in the world, they work hard, make effort, with all means, physically, mentally, that which satisfy your mind and to free from the suffering. But due to lack of the clear wisdom or decisive awareness, then we make a mess by making all the effort to bring all this suffering and blames, And we work so hard and we got all the blame. It's because of due to lack of the wisdom and understanding. So here, the general Dharma teaching, especially here today, we are studying the Bodhisattva Avatara, the conduct of the Bodhisattva, or the action of the Bodhisattva, or the Bodhisattva's way of life, whatever you can call it. But this is about that, what Bodhisattva does, what Bodhisattva is working for enlightenment or to free from the suffering. That is what we are starting practicing. So far, now we finish up to from the meditative concentration, we finish up to verse 28, 29, 30. Like I said here, 29, which I read. All the joy the world contains has come through wishing happiness for others. It's not just wishing, but also action. Wishing starts. You wish that, and then we follow that path. As we have some discussions about the walk on talk, or walk your talk. So that wishing is our like a talk, and then putting action on that is the walk. So wishing good for others means avoid all the mental illness, the mental delusions. So that has come through wishing happiness for others. All the miseries the world contains has come through wanting pleasure for oneself, sacrificing others for your own benefit, which involves all our ego, which has been now we're discussing about that so much. self-aggrandizing, the ego, and then to protect that ego, to build that ego, and then we sacrifice others, or we utilize others for our own ego. Then because of that, all the undesirable the conditions, all the undesirable sufferings manifest from that, you see. And this is a mention, this is nothing to do with spiritual. It's universal reality, nature. So we have to understand this and then practice step by step. That's why Shantideva, now as you see, he went through step by step, digging all the insight, nature of the samsara. What is the suffering? What suffering is there? What's the cause of suffering is there? How we can handle that? So very skillfully, like sometimes you feel repeating same thing, but in reality, very subtle. There's so many subtleties there. So that's because, as I mentioned, our mind is unfathomable, very profound. It is so vast, like the space. So to comprehend that, so we need to go in this step by step. And also you understand these are all in the relative state, you see. In the relative, we're not talking everything's empty, 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 but in the relative, how we are doing, how we're handling, you see. So this is also says nothing to do anything like a monastic, the monastic institute, or lay people, or any this, nothing to any of these things. This is directly communicating the reality nature of the samsara. Monks or nuns or lay people, doesn't matter. See, we all have to see this. Now there's no, we should know, there's no negotiation. You see, I'm not a monk or nun, so maybe I can do this. Or there are monks and nuns, they cannot do that. So they cannot do this, but I can do, as you know. Like for example, drinking alcohol. So monks and nuns are forbidding that drink. So I'm a lay people, it's okay, 1 cup of drink, In regarding to this, there's no such kind of negotiation. Please understand that. Very important. But Buddha made this discipline distinction because it's step by step to follow. Like, like as I mentioned, kindergarten, preschool, then elementary school, then higher school, college, university, step by step. That everybody has to go through that step. It doesn't doesn't anything. So like this here, we should have that kind of understanding, and then we follow as much as we can. That's our understanding. We should open up that mind. So, so then he said, verse last I have read this 130. Is there need for lengthy explanations? So childish beings look out for themselves, you see. So there's no need any lengthy explanation. There's no need special reason. Quotations. Buddha said this, just look at in our life, in the samsara. We childish from beginningless lifetime up until now, how much we achieved. Still we are not free from suffering. Still we are sink in the ocean of the samsara. Why? No. Because thinking only for oneself, not thinking for others. Then said, Buddha labored for the good of others. See the differences that divide them. So Buddha, no, transcend all the self-grasping, purify, and labor for others, work for others. With childish, samsaric sentient beings, we use others for my benefit. To make myself comfortable life, we use others. But Buddha, he worked for others. So said, see the difference. No. So it's very simple. No. So Shantideva, as I mentioned, Shantideva was trying all his best to communicate in many different ways. Now, verse 131. Now, if I do not interchange, I have to look here now. Interchange, exchange, my happiness for others' pain, enlightenment will never be attained. No. Now, here, see, this is how first, as we talked about self. The self is, even though it's not exist, but because of our habitual tendency is so ingrained, as I mentioned, deeply rooted. So through many ways, Shantideva is now explaining how to deconstruct that. As you know, just say self is not exist doesn't help. Self is not exist, yes, I know, but I want peace and happiness, I want to free from suffering, And then we manipulate others. And for my own happiness, I use others, you see. So now here, Shantideva is trying to interchange or exchange oneself and others. See, so now here, if I do not interchange my happiness for others, enlightenment will never be attained. No. What Shantideva was trying to kind of express is, now I should do something that be a good service for others. I should give my happiness to others. And others, suffering, I should work with that. So this is, they're saying, we should know how to wear others' shoes. That's what this is here trying to explain. In the West, they're saying, we should know how to wear others' shoes. So, just look at the other place when they are suffering. Then look to yourself. If I have that suffering, what I should do? Can I tolerate? Or how I can help others? So then that, if we don't practice that, first is a forgotten enlightenment. Even in samsara, joy will not joy will not fly from me. No. Even in the samsara, there's no joy, no happiness. See? So that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not something spiritual or religious thing. This is talking about the causality, the cause, what you're creating. This is not a Buddhist belief, the causality, the karma, no. It's how universal, whole universe is constituted. Peace and happiness in the samsara and for the enlightenment. So that's why I said it's called virtue is virtue. Will never become non-virtue. Whatsoever, with anybody, the non-virtue is non-virtue. It cannot become a virtue. See? So please make that, So because of that, there's no negotiation. See? There's no negotiation, you see. Say, so I cannot do this. Can I do a little bit? It's okay, Of course, it's okay, but you cannot negotiate. You cannot substitute, big thing for the small, If I do this small thing, so it's okay that maybe I can get this all, There's no that kind of negotiation. This is a very important point, Independence says, Tati Shinji Dungeta, Yada Jawa Majena, Sajani to Migration, Koanaya, Dawames, you see. In the Samsara, it's very clear. There are some individuals, that the individuals exploit others, exploit others for one's own benefit. At the end, that person becomes miserable. You see, the result is infallible. It just comes. There's no real peace and happiness that one can experience by exploitation of others. That's what I mentioned other day, in the family, in the group, in the society, or like a leader of the country, if that person is working, so I'm here for you. I will labor myself for your peace and happiness. And if that individual does that way, all people respect. Even in the samsara, not for enlightenment, that everybody in the country will respect that person. Oh, that is such a wonderful person. He or she works so hard for the people of the country, for the people of the state. Whatever institute we are. So that's the foundation for the enlightenment, for the Buddhahood. So instead of me, my own happiness attached to myself, but I work hard for others. So that is interchange. My happiness, so I give to others by working hard. So that's very precious thing. Very simple. What that does is we need to just work a little bit with ourselves. Reduce the self-grasping, self-interest, and work for others. That's what this is about, Then, this 132, He said, here, see, this giving good example, you see, it's mentioned in the Samsara. Living future lives aside, the reckoning. Even these lives' needs are not fulfilled. Just example, the servant do not do their work, and the masters who do not pay the wages earned, like employers, the boss hire employees. If doesn't give the wages on time, accordingly agreement, those employees, they will leave. So we cannot stay here because you don't pay us. And the employees, if they don't work according to what should be done, and the boss will say, you have not done this, so please leave. So even this life, you see, in the society is so clear. So living future lives aside the reckoning, just enlightenment, forget it. Or future lives is okay. Even in this life, you can see it very precisely. This is what's talking about the karma, causality. See, now understand karma is not something mysterious behind somewhere, It's brought somewhere from previous life, and it's also not something bad thing. It can be both good and bad. Good karma, bad karma. Day-to-day life. So, moment-to-moment karma. It's not a mysterious thing. It is something that, you see, exists in our everyday life. Every moment of the mind, every moment of the physical, all it counts. So understand that it's a cause that we are creating, which comes to the next moment, next step. So, how crucial it is we develop such kind of altruistic thought for others' benefit. So this I mentioned before, Milarepa said, all our peace and happiness is come from others. Altruistic thought for others' benefit is one's own benefit. Very simple. Reality nature, causality nature. So this kind of now our understanding and how to do things in the society, everybody can accept this. If we present as a Buddhism, as a religion, maybe not many people are interested. But if we know how to communicate this way, it makes sense for everybody. See that? Now verse 133, now here comes the real interchange or exchange oneself and others. How to wear others' shoes. He said, casting far away. Did I read this? Yeah, okay. Casting far away abundant joys that may be gained in this or future lives, no. Because of bringing harm to others' being, I ignorantly bring myself intolerable pain. What is here? Oh, yeah, so sorry. Tongda mato tetrope, punzo tiki yong purshin. Shenla tungi chawe gu, mumbe tungi mise len. Yeah, yes. He said, casting far away abandoned joys. So say, in the future lives, this will happen if you do this. First, just forget that. No? Or in the future, also peace and happiness will not happen if you don't walk now, for others' benefit. See, that may be gained in this or the future lives. See, because of bringing harm to others' being, I ignorantly bring myself intolerable pain. Because of harming others, that pain will come to me because I have created. See? Because I harm others. Because of harming others by that cause, within the state of the ignorance, then I suffer helplessly. See, mombe dunge miseles, see, intolerable suffering that I experience because of harming others. See? So that I have to, it's because the self-grasping, I have to purify that self-grasping. Now, next is why next how we should now why we should interchange oneself and others. The reason, see. All the harms with which this world is ripped, all fear and suffering that there is clinging to the I has caused it. What am I to do with this great demon? So now, first you see this self-grasping, not the notion of self, self-grasping, self-fixation. That's the demon. No, just self-grasping, protecting the self which does not exist, but I'm protecting that, grasping that, self-grandizing that. That's the demon. Demon for peace and happiness in this life, demon for peace and happiness for next life. See, this very precious. That's because in the world, what kind of harm is there? No, in the name of religion, in the name of oneself. You can use different names, but harming others is because the self. And all the fears in the samsara, all the sufferings in the samsara, it's also all this come from self-grasping. So what should I do? What should I do with this demon? See, self-grasping, self-cherishing, see, and self-craving. Now look at in the world, you can see news everywhere just fighting, in a different ways. They are fighting for the status, title, fighting for the power, fighting for the wealth, fighting for this and that. It's all due to this, the self. Every individuals in the world that have religious, non-religious, believer, non-believer, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, So look at that. So when I suffer, look at myself. I'm going through this suffering this way, mentally, physically. I have this much fear, I have that come, this or all this obstacle. It's all this because this demon that I have in my heart. As long as I keep this, my demon within me, I cannot expect real peace and happiness, no matter how much I try. See? So look at this. I must purify this. I must replace this with the bodhicitta, with the wisdom, compassion. So we should meditate on this. This is the practice that we need every day of our life. This is our homework. It's not just being a kind, nice, It's not just being, to show others how kind you are, It's being to build yourself within. Nowadays, kindness becomes like some kind of little show, advertisement to others. But this is something we should build within, practice that in our daily life. Anybody like a teacher, so like a teacher in the school, when the teacher is very kind, wise, patient, all the students, they are so respectful. Teaching, whatever that, very sincerely. Most will appreciate, respect. We say, our teacher is really so kind. When I went through these difficulties, the teacher helped me. So it's a way of the teacher is a way how to practice this kind of altruistic thought. It doesn't mean you just worn out yourself. We need such a kind of, a very delicate situation, understanding how to play that. But in the mind, we just keep that without losing. Physically, maybe not enough. Physically, maybe we are limited sometimes. But mentally, this is our practice, exercise. So this is what was first is very important. So all the harm with which this world is ripped, you see, or or rife, I should say rife, I think the spelling, not the pronunciation of rife. And all fear and suffering that there is anywhere, everywhere, clinging to the I. Clinging, you see, clinging, grasping, fixated. So that causes all this. So what am I to do with this great demon? So this is very precious verse. All each and every is called virtual statement. Then next, what it said, verse 135, if this I is not relinquished wholly, sorrow likewise cannot be avoided. If they do not keep away from fire, people cannot escape from being burned. First is the meaning. Relinquish means grasping. As a notion, as a label, there's nothing to relinquish I. We use as a label. I go, I do things, no, you are, I can help you, no, those things. Grasping the I, we should relinquish. So that if I don't do that, sorrow likewise cannot be avoided. All the suffering, just earlier mentioned, all the sufferings that I cannot escape, no matter how much I try, no matter how much I build the mansion, to protect me, layers after layers surrounded, and I'm within that, so we are well protected. I'm protected, my ego, my self-grasping is well protected. And I'm within that cocoon of the suffering. If I don't relinquish grasping to the self, so I need to purify this self-grasping. For example, if I don't keep away the fire, I cannot escape from the burning. The example is there. Well, you're in the fire, and then you kind of shout, oh, I'm getting burned, it doesn't help, If we get rid of the fire, then I'm well protected. So it's very good acknowledging. When there's a fire of ego clinging, then I'm born in the state of suffering, saying now. The way I think it's explanation, you see, the first, this is what it's saying is here, simile, the simile is this here. If they do not keep away from fire, people can't escape from being burned. And the metaphor way, if the fire of the ego clinging is not kept away, the burning of the suffering cannot be escaped from that, It's very, very elegant way, so you can explain this. Okay. Now that is 136. Now here explaining, because of this now, here I said, to free myself from harm and others from their suffering, let me give myself to others, loving them as I now love myself. Now, Shantideva is giving us the advice, his suggestions. If you want to free from suffering, if we want to free from suffering, if we want to have peace and happiness, say, let's try this, to free myself from harm and others from their suffering, let me give myself to others. I give to others, and others put in my place. As earlier I mentioned, now it's real doing, now how to wear others' shoes. It's very beautiful, Now, the verse 137. Tani shenji wangshu chi yikyu ngepar sheki la. Simje kundu matoba tani choki shemesams, Here said, verse 37. Because just it's advice, I put in other place and other put in my place. Means now I give myself to others. All what I'm doing is now I'm doing for others because I belong to others. So because of that, for I am now beneath the rule of others because I have given myself to others. So my whole being is now possessed by others. So it's rule of beneath the rule of others. Of this you must be certain, O my mind. So giving advice to your mind, which is self-grasping. The mind is the one who's grasping the self, saying, your mind who's grasping self, please understand this. Now I have given you to others. And you should understand that. So, and now no longer shall you have a thought that does not wish the benefit of beings. So you never think of how I should be happy. Instead, how other sentient beings should be happy. How much I can do for others. How much I can do for others this morning, this afternoon, this evening. This is beautiful, you see. So never think of your self-cherishing, self-craving. So my whole being, physical and mental, is now belong to others. So the mind, please understand this. And you just play this way, practice this way. It's clear? So that's how to release our self-grasping. Otherwise, even if we don't practice this way, this all in the relative state, if we don't practice this way, it means we practice Mahamudra, Says, I practice Mahamudra, I have a great experience in my Mahamudra practice. Self is now, when you see other people, you show, I'm a Mahamudra practitioner, Instead of releasing your ego. They say in Mahamudra there's no ego exist, but we grandize our ego by practicing Mahamudra, you know. Make sense? So look at this. This is a very subtle point. No. There's some teacher who also have that, you know. So the Mahamudra master, teacher. So yes, I teach Mahamudra. So I'm very important master, you know. Then he or she utilize their student, you know, to serve them. So this, see, because the self is so, kind of say, very gonna know, canny. It comes way after whatever, you know, it can to manipulate and give us suffering. So sometimes I'm a Vajrayana practitioner, you know. We look down others. It's very unfortunate. So in the relative, we have to practice these things, purify our this self-grasping. Just look at, we have to watch it 24 hours. Not just only during the meditation session, but 24 hours. We have to look at, watch it, what he's doing, you know, what is playing. See, these are such very precious words, you know, for we as a, I should say, as a Dharma practitioner, you know, how to free from the suffering. So if this goes in the whole society, how beautiful it will be. So here, as mentioned, this verse 37, you know, for I am now beneath the rule of others. Of this you must be certain, O my mind. And now no longer shall you have a thought that does not wish the benefit of beings. You always just dedicate yourself for others. Your whole being is belong to others. Oh. Then 138 said, Shawan Mila Sobaye, Rondo Tuba Rigmaye, the Mila Sobaye, de la Lowell Jamerix. My sight and other senses, now the property of others. No? My sight, my eyes, my ears, my nose, my tongue, my body, this all, and other senses is now property of others, means it's belong to others. To use them for myself will be improper. Now, if I use for myself, it's improper. It's illegal. Okay. It's illegal because it is a cause of suffering. You see? Let's put that way, you know. If you use this for others, it's illegal because it's a cause for peace and happiness. And it is likewise disallowed to use my faculties against their honors. When I see things, don't attach to myself, oh, this beautiful, or I dislike, When you hear sounds, oh, I enjoy my sound. I attach to the sight. There's no form. I attach to the sound. I attach to the smell. I attach to the food. I attach to my body. Say, it's not now allowed. As I mentioned, if you do this, it's illegal now. So understand this, practice this. This is what showing is, well, the self is there, but not grasping itself. But I use this self for others' benefit. See? In the relative, the self is there, but the self is not for one's own goodness, but it's goodness for others. It's a very precious thing, you see. These are very profound, very effective practice. If we understood it, and if we can apply this practice, the happiness is just there. We don't look for. The peace is just there. We don't have to look for. It's just there by just knowing that. So we need this kind of this key. When we have this key and open the door, the peace and happiness is just there. So that's what is called Bodhisattva's conduct. Bodhisattva's way of living. See? So this all, as I mentioned, such a precious thing. Okay, now, 139, I think, yes. Then I simply saw that Tagilula Chetonwa, that I didn't tonic and Shandalan and Pamper Jews. Okay. Now, therefore, saying, now 39, thus, therefore, the sentient beings will be my chief concern, you see. I'm not the chief concern. My chief concern is the sentient beings, or I concern sentient beings, the well-being. I'm not concerned for myself. And everything I see my body has will all be seized and seized and offered. Whatever there I have, whole my body, all I have, is now I offer to others. See? And then, for the use and service of all others beings. No, this is will all be seized. I will take it and give to others. For the use and service of all beings, all other beings. Now today, now I become the service or my all activities is a service for others' well-being. Just meditate in your mind. You don't have to do any special thing. When you practice, I practice this for others' benefit. When you cook, I cook this food so that I can live and become a good service for others. No? So this just mental training, this is other dimension, mind training. Mind train this way. Before we're doing all for myself, if I prepare breakfast, I want to have a good breakfast. I myself, I want to enjoy breakfast so that I may have a good life and all these things, you know. But now, so I do things for others. I cook my breakfast because I can help others. Because this I'm eating is come from others. So now for others' help, I do these things. You see, look at the world. If everybody does this way, how much the world will be better. How the world will be more peaceful. See, very clear, very precise. So some masters say, you know, practice of loving kindness, compassion is something spiritual. But here, according to Shantideva, it's not something spiritual. It's a universal. No. Because everybody has even small amount loving kindness and compassion. Because it's the, how to say, radiant, it's the light manifests from Buddha nature. That's the capital we have. So we need to maximize this. When we fully maximize this, and we can see our Buddha nature. That's why when you read great life stories of the masters, how they become a service for others' benefit. Okay. Now, here, verse 140 is actually explaining in a first, you know, how to exchange oneself in others. See, said, take others lower, higher, equal, the three, as yourself. Means now yourself put the sentient being's place. Sentient beings are put in your place. And then they're lower. So sentient beings lower first. Then equal, so comes equal. Then comes higher. Or here's the others, no, others, other means other sentient beings. Lower, then equal, then higher as yourself. Identify yourself as other. You see, put other one in your place, other sentient beings in your place, and you put yourself in other place. So this time, then, when you say I means I sentient beings. And there means myself, now self-grasping, that one, there. Then without another thought, see, no any now I should do or no should do, without any other thought, just directly, precisely, without doubt, just follow the practice said. Immerse yourself in envy, pride, and revelry. See, Means, that not will follow step by step, you see that one. First is abbreviated. Now comes the actual, you see how it comes. Now all sentient beings here like I. Now I, sentient beings. And then yourself, which the old one yourself, I, put other side, dear, or he or she, in a higher place. Now we have to kind of have the envy, jealous practice this now, you see. Look at this, verse 141. He is the center of attention. Now, this he is our old I, self. Now we're practicing how we have to have envy, jealous. So we sentient beings are now saying, I am nothing, means we sentient beings, nothing. So I'm jealous of you. He is the center of the attention, see. And unlike him, I am poor without possession. He is rich, wealth. He has all the possessions, and I, sentient beings, have nothing. So I'm jealous of this. So, see, and everyone looks up unto him, despising me. No, everyone is looking to him who has all the wealth, all the good positions. And I sentient beings, despising me, looking down on me. So, all goes well for him, my own ego, self, that one. Everything goes well with him. For me, there is only bitterness. I, sentient being, has only bitterness. Now this is, you see, in the world, in the samsara, generally in the samsara, when I'm very successful business, and because I have successful business, people respect me. People pay attention on me. So it's the whole concerns there. So because of this, I look down other sentient beings who don't have this. Now we're exchanging that, you see, you have doing these things. Because of this, we sentient beings have a jealous of you. We envy all your success. So like some kind of like bitterness to the self, who's promoting ourself, So this is how this exchange now, actual practice of exchange. Then verse 142. So then says, all I have is sweet. Sweet. Yes, all I have sweet and drudgery. Well, he's there sitting at his ease. Now, we sentient beings are, we are working so hard, basically saying, we are working all the activities, working hard. basically, you know. And he, my old self, he's just being so ease, relaxed, you know. Sitting there. Well, he's there sitting at his ease. He is great, respected in the world. He is because of wealth, his knowledge, his positions, so well respected. And where I'm underdog, well-known nobody knows me. I sentient beings. I sentient beings are nothing, working so hard, but nobody pay attention. So I sentient beings, now I sentient beings are jealous of you. You have all these possessions, you know. You have all these good titles. So like you see, that you know, so that you see, when our old ego, self-grasping is there, we have that. So to reduce this, no. But first we have to look at this, how much we went through. Look at this and promote sentient beings higher and reduce our self-grasping, you know, just with this jealous envy, you know. It's not something like a negative emotion, but it's a skillful method how to handle this. See? Then 143. Now yes, 143 says, depends is all, you know, conditions. So what nobody without distinction. Not true. I do have some good qualities, saying it depends. I sentient beings say nothing, but it depends. Depending to nothing, I have something. No, there's something to respect me. See, when there's like say, when one person who cannot read even ABC, compared to that, I can read little bit. So I have some good qualities. So from that point, I'm also subject to respect. So this is not to have a complete depression. Sometimes we're so depressed. Oh, now say no. When this happens, you know. Not true. I have some good qualities. Compare with some, he's lower down. Then comparing that from nothing, I have something. From very good, say I have nothing. You can say that, you know. Compared with some, I do excel, you know. So I'm also subject to respect. So we say now, you're saying, so you old ego, you cannot look down on me all the time because I have some good qualities compared to this. No? So let's see. Then verse 44, so good. No bound. So this now comparing that, you see, my discipline, my understanding have declined. The sentient beings, I sentient beings, you know, I sentient beings. So our my discipline and my understanding have declined, but I am helpless, ruled by my defilement. It happens. My discipline is distorted, and see, my understanding of clarity of the mind is also distorted. Because this, I'm helpless. It's not because I did it voluntarily, but it's because of the power of the mental afflictions. It's not my choice. The mental afflictions made this for me. So you should understand that now the sentient beings now are arguing to my old self. You cannot look down on me always like that. No. Moreover, you see, as much as he is able, he should cure me. So instead of you looking down on me, you should help me to overcome this, my mental afflictions. You know, I'll be submissive even to this punishment. So this is this means so noble. So noble, so good. So this means I'll be submissive even to this punishment. First of all, say, as much as he is able, he should cure me. So this all self. No, you are all the all self. You should help to sentient beings. We sentient beings need your help. You can't just look down on us and then live that way. You cannot do that. You should help us. No. Then what the saying is so good, no bound. So through that, you see, I will be submissive even to this punishment. So all the mistakes that we made, I sentient beings made, so I should purify that. And you should understand to help us. Basically, the meaning is there. No one, all these, I say, accept this punishment, the negative karmas that we met. I can accept that, but you should help us. You can't just live alone now without helping. So these are some how to mind how to help each other to yourself. First, we envy all your achievements. In this, in the Samsara, we have that. The people in the world who are the concern in the world is wealth, their comfort, their fame, their joy, happiness. This is the concern of the samsara. So did our old self, I, me, have those things, and sentient beings are jealous of that, But within that, sentient beings, we are also not so bad. Relatively, we have something. For that, you have to help us. And we are making mistake, not because we want to make mistake, but because of our mental afflictions. So that also you have to help us to cure that kind of purify our mental afflictions. So you should have that also to us. The same, this you need a little more study on this. Read the commentaries. If there is a commentary on this translation, read those. And then see verse 45. So, in fact, he does nothing of the sort. But what right then does he belittle me? This is saying now, the old self, myself, which is now other side. Saying, in fact, he does nothing for the sort. He doesn't do anything for sentient beings. So, by what right, what kind of right he has, because he doesn't help the sentient beings. The old self, grasping the self. Then, does he belittle? Why he belittle to us? We sentient beings also have all this right to respect. Where he is doing belittling us, where you are looking down on us. So sentient beings are fighting to this old self. What use then are these qualities to me? What kind of qualities you have? What that does help? What that helped me? Your qualities, your wealth doesn't help us because you are so selfish. Those qualities of which he is so possessed, you possess all these qualities, all these things you have. So because we sentient beings, we are jealous of you. We need to look down to this, look down or bring down this selfish. You are craving, cherishing self. We have to bring down this. Then you see, now it's continuing that, because you see, indifferent to the flight of the living beings. Who treat the brink of evil destinies. He makes an outward show of virtues and even wants to vie with sage. What he's saying here is, so you are so selfish. Now sentient beings are saying to this, my old self. So you are creating all the negative karma, you see. You are going to the lower realms because of your mental afflictions, saying, and you are in the mouth of the hell realm, hungry ghosts, animals. So because you have no compassion to sentient beings, you are so selfish. See, still you pretend you have such great qualities, saying, who treat brink of evil destinies. So you are going to the evil destinies. You make an outward show of virtues. You're just showing, you're chauvinistic. So you have so much virtue, but in reality you don't. And even wants to they would say, if you want to challenge, if you want to compete with the great practitioners, so you are so selfish, you cannot do that. So this is the now practice by exchanging oneself and other sentient beings. how to say, practice, how to say, with jealous. So through that, look at to ourselves. Or when I have wealth, when I have all these prestiges, I have looked down because of my selfish reason. So now I need to purify my mind. I cannot look down at sentient beings. When I have a success, this all belongs to the sentient beings. This first we practice that one. Now next is equal. Now sentient beings and my own self, I the cherishing, are equal. In that, now compete. Comparison, now competing. So to that you see verse 147. See? That I might excel, outstripping him. So we are equal. If I say, now sentient beings, you are representing sentient beings. And you are all the ones at the side. So sentient beings are here, or on my right side. Sentient beings are here on my right side or your right side. That's what you are now, your new, fresh one. And on your left, your old self-grasping, self-cherishing one there. So now we're all equal. So now sentient beings are saying, we're equal, but we will beat you. No? See, that I might excel, outstripping him. So we will be, even though we're equal, but we sentient beings will be excel, better. And we will bring you down, outstripping him. This old, the old self-cherishing. Him regarded as my peer in equals, even though we are regarded the same, equal, but he's not equal. I cannot let him to be equal because you see, in contest, I will certainly secure myself, my fame and fortune, public renown. I will put him down. No? And I, sentient beings, will bring up, secure all these things we have, and I'll be renowned in the public. Everybody knows me, and I will let him not know nobody know him. See. So look at that. So this way, my all ego, the self-cherishing, I reduce. So say, look at how much it hurts me because my self-cherishing. So I have to reduce, I have to purify that. Then verse 48, see, this is easy, you see. By everybody means, I will advertise. How? See, my gifts to all the worlds, all things that I have, I will let know in the whole world. Means I, sentient beings, will let know in the world See, ensuring that his qualities remain unknown, ignored. His means this self-cherishing. Self-cherishing qualities remain unknown. Even though he may have good qualities, but I will make it not known and ignored by everybody, so that it hurts me. You can say, it hurts me. Yes, it does, because you are self-grasping, self-cherishing. So you have to purify that. So practice that, Even though we're equal, but I'm sentient beings saying, sentient beings saying, no, we're equal, but we sentient beings are more important than you, one single self-cherishing. This is how practice of Bodhisattva now. The Bodhisattva practice, And verse 149, that's not so difficult. My faults, I will conceal, dissimulate. I sentient beings are saying, I sentient beings, even though I may have faults, sentient beings, I will conceal, I will hide and dissimulate. For eyes, not for he, this self-cherishing old one, will be the object of devotion. Sentient beings are subject of devotion, not the self-cherishing. I, not he, I sentient beings, but not this self-cherishing, not he, will gain possession and renown. Sentient beings gain the possessions, all the wealth, all the respects, and renown. I will be the center of attention. I, sentient beings, will be center of all the attention. So everybody will respect. This self-cherishing is nothing. So this way we purify our self-cherishing. Promote the sentient beings, because sentient beings are more important. They are limitless. So like in the family, if there are, like say, 10 people in the family, so there's one and rest there's 9. So the 9, they are more important than the 1. So the one who is very aggressive, selfish, you see, then all the member of the family, 9 people, say you are so selfish. For your sake, we are suffering. So then that the one person who is selfish acknowledge, yes, I understand your point. You 9 people are more important than I, the self-cherishing. So I respect you. So this is what you are practicing. Exchanging practice like that. I, one member of the family, I should be service for you. not all 9 people surfaced for me. See, this is how to practice, you see. Now, should we make a short break?
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. Just reflect now. For so far, we all this now, exchanging oneself, other, all these practices. Some are little bit maybe confusing, but please read, study, and make your homework. Make sure you understood and practice this. So precious. Because Shantideva is trying everything, whatever he can, to help us so that we can get out of the samsara. The main point is how we have to get out of the samsara. Because we have been so long in the samsara. Every lifetime we just suffer. No, just please reflect on this. Bodhisattva samaya manopalaya Bodhisattva tenopa tishanteto membawa suto kayo membawa supo kayo membawa anurata membawa sarvaside me prayaja sarva karma sudame chetana shriya kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sarva tatanga dambadrama memon zambar zembawa ma samaya satuwa a. Thank you, everybody. Okay, Angela.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you seen my latest? Look.
Oh, you are the lady of all the malas.
Yeah, I was just thinking of it.
Wonderful.
But it goes by itself. It's not me doing it. I just do it, it comes automatic.
Okay.
So what to do? These are rinsed up in Ganga.
Yeah.
Ganga.
Now instead of so much paying attention to your mala, pay attention to the teachings more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. I'm looking at the colors behind you, and the colors are very beautiful because I get into a little trance, by listening to you, and then I get very happy to, little artistic flying.
Okay.
But this one, did you see this one? Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful, yes.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to listen to you.
Yes.
I'm
Wonderful.
very happy because this is so good to reduce the ego.
Yes,
I'm very, very grateful. To come here and teach us all these things. This special.
I know your ego is little kind of sticky,
Yeah. You know what to do. If you're an artist, you have to have a little ego. What I mean, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Yes, make a short break.